This brief tutorial is intended to help you to see how to remove the wet end of the pump from the tank body. That's going to be the motor, the impeller, the diffuser, all of those things. This is very simple. People call pretty regularly asking for help on how to do this, and this video should explain it, should demonstrate it much better than I can explain it. So, without further ado, the tools that you're going to need would start with a slotted screwdriver, a regular slotted screwdriver. You're going to need that to remove the bond, which is usually up here, or it's sometimes down here on the pump, sometimes it's back here. It's usually a solid copper wire. Sometimes it's insulated with green insulation. We do see that from time to time. You'll also need a 1/4-inch nut driver. Is ideal for removing these. These are slotted screws, and you can use a slotted screwdriver, but oftentimes these screws back here are so corroded that you're going to strip out the slotted portion of it. A 1/4-inch nut driver is ideal to remove these two, or back out these two screws. Once those have been sufficiently loosened, you can take the back cap off, but when they're metal like this, they also get corrosion around the inside, and sometimes you need to give it a good tap to help loosen that up. This will expose the back end of the motor. Now, before we get to anywhere closer to this, it's important to say that the electricity should be positively shut off. It should be shut off at the breaker. If you're comfortable with that, you're properly trained and familiar with how to terminate the electricity, then do that and then proceed. If you aren't properly trained and aren't comfortable doing that, you should not attempt this, as electricity can cause you a severe amount of harm, physical, bodily damage, and can create problems with your home. So make sure the electricity is turned off properly, either by yourself or a trained professional. Now that you're inside the back end, there are two hot leads. You're going to have two hot wires, whether it's 110 or 220, you're going to have two hots. There's no neutral, or shouldn't be a neutral if it was properly installed. You're going to use your slotted screwdriver, a number 2 slotted screwdriver, to back out these two terminals, and we're going to use that 1/4-inch nut driver again here on the ground. That's the electrical portion. Occasionally, where the Phillips head screwdriver is used, a slotted screwdriver for old style pumps can be used. So now you've got two different types of retaining mechanisms like we talked about. You're going to have the kind with the band going all the way around the ground, tank body, or volute. To remove this, you simply turn this thumb screw. Sometimes you'll have a thumb screw similar to this, or sometimes it's a 3/8-inch nut. This band will come out. Occasionally you'll need to use your slotted screwdriver again as a wedge to remove the tank from the motor. Otherwise, what you will have is a pump that has bolts that go into the plastic part of the pump. Oftentimes you're going to have bolts that go through the metal flange of the motor. Leave those alone. Metal motor, stop. If it goes through the metal of the motor, stop. If it goes through plastic parts, that's okay. This is usually a 9/16. You can use a socket and a ratchet or a box end wrench, but occasionally, for an example, this MaxFlow 2 pump here, it's a 1/2-inch bolt that holds the pump to the tank body. Once you've removed all of the bolts, you can then separate the moving parts, which we call the wet end, which will consist of the seal plate, the diffuser, and behind the diffuser will be an impeller and, of course, the motor. This is now separate from the tank body or the volute. You don't have to cut any pipe. All this can stay in place. It doesn't have to be removed. Now, usually what I will do is take these bolts out first, stand this up on end, and now you can work on the electrical without having to lay down on your side and work in a contorted position. You can now get to the electrical with the pump standing in that position. So This takes about 10 minutes to remove. Takes about 15 minutes to put it back in the reverse of the order it was removed in. And usually the value of that service call varies from company to company, but it's $85, $95, $105, $125. We'll say it's $100 for about a half an hour's worth of your labor. So if you're able to do all that, we highly suggest that you, when you have pump problems, take the thing off, bring it into us. We'll be happy to take a look at it for you. It never costs anything for us to bench test and to give you an estimate of what it's going to take to fix your equipment. We're open Monday through Friday and a limited schedule on Saturday. Give us a call at 239-574-4499, 239-574-4499. Hope that was helpful for you.